dreams just random images fired from an unconscious brain during sleep? Or something much more important, like life-saving inner guidance? How dreams can be healing and early warning tools for disease, financial crisis, or success. And love is still one of the behavioral science's greatest unanswered questions. Hello, I'm your host, author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Welcome to Dreaming Healing, where dreams and cutting-edge scientific research meet on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Dreaming Healing is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, when you can call in and ask Kat questions about your amazing dreams. Talk on air. Call toll-free 833-220-1200. That's 833-220-1200. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 radio network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but hey, I hope you'll call me Kat because all my friends do. We've got an incredible show for you tonight. It is with Larry Freeborg, and the name of his book is Always at Choice. Not always a choice, but always at choice. Strategies for moving on after death. And one of the reasons why I wanted Larry to come on and talk to us is, if you noticed, at least I have, it seems like a lot of the generation just before us, or a little bit older than us, are dropping. They are dying. And I talk to friends all the time and I'll say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they'll say, "Oh, well, I just lost my husband," which is, which is really, really a major catastrophe in people's lives. So I wanted to have Larry on to talk about his book, Always at Choice. So he remembers the day vividly when his wife died and he was powerless to face the total despair and grief. And it happened when he was in the psych ward after the death of his 39-year-old wife from leukemia, leaving him with 4 children, right as his company eliminated his position of employment. So he was unemployed. Finally, it dawned on him that every moment offered a choice, and he was always at choice. Are all of us always at choice? Well, Larry's here to answer that question, but first, I want to do our protective meditation. So for those of you who are new to my show, just follow my voice. And if you're driving in the car and listening to us right now, don't close your eyes. It will still work, okay? Keep your hands on the wheel and keep your eyes open. It'll work. The rest of you, close your eyes and feel yourself sitting very deeply in your chair. Feel your shoulders relax. Don't hold them up. Just let them drop. You can let your neck drop if you need to. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Imagine any negativity from the week. In that breath of life, blow it out. Cross the room into the purple flame of Saint Germain, where it's converted into beautiful golden energy that goes up past the stars, past the moon, past all the planets, up to those pearly gates, where it makes a U-turn and comes right back down into your 7th chakra at the speed of thought, the fastest speed we have, and fills your whole body with healing, vibrating golden light. Feel it vibrate from your nose to the tips of your toes. Now again, deep breath in, hold it. Any negativity you may have done this week in that breath of life, and blow it out into that purple flame of Saint Germain. See it going up past the moon and stars, past the planets. U-turn at the pearly gates, back down at the speed of thought into your 7th chakra, filling your whole body from your nose to your toes. Feel the tingling. One more time. Deep breath in. Imagine anything you've been carrying since childhood that was negative, done to you, made you sad. Blow it out. Get rid of it. It's gone. It's in that purple flame of Saint Germain. Again, turning into golden light all the way up to those pearly gates, making that U-turn and coming right back into our body, filling it with golden healing light. Feel a little warmer, a little more vibration. Now I want you to imagine holding in your hand a power gift. And a power gift is anything someone gave you that you love, or something favorite of yours. It could be a piece of jewelry, your favorite stone, favorite flower. It can even be from your imagination or memory, your favorite pet. Imagine holding it and swinging it all around your body, creating a mirrored bubble of protection around you. Nothing is as powerful as love, and a love gift, very powerful. Only that which is of the highest and best, brought by your spirit guides and guardian angels, may enter that mirrored bubble. Everything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, open your eyes. In the meantime, just listen to my voice. If you have trouble getting back into your body, put your hands together in a prayer form. Push on it. Your fingertips are all the pressure points for your whole body. Yeah. And it'll bring you right back in, just like you're praying. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest tonight. Life as he knew it ended in a single week. Just after Christmas 1979, he lost his wife of 18 years. Suddenly, he was a widowed father of 4 with no income. What followed was not a quick journey, but a decades-long journey of learning how to grieve, how to lead with love, and how to rediscover hope in the face of unimaginable loss. Today, he's the author of Always at Choice and the founder of Stepping Through the Gate. Welcome to the show, Larry Freeborg. Larry, am I saying your last name correctly? It sounds very German.
No, you're saying it very correctly. Thank you. Actually,
Good.
it's Swedish.
Oh, it's Swedish.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm part Swedish too. Well, thank you for being on our show tonight. Um, Let me start out by saying, with all respect, you told me in your work here that you are 87 years old.
Yes,
Why
I
are you
am.
still working?
It it's a choice. My choice was to be of service and to contribute, and I get the most fulfillment out of my life doing that. And so when I looked at the idea of retirement, and it's is doing what you love, well, doing what I love was already what I was doing. So I've just kept on doing it.
Wow. Well, for those of you who would like to know a little bit more about Larry and what he does, his website is www.alwaysatchoice.net. And from there, you can also go to his website, steppingthroughthegate.com. And he's also got alwayschoice.net work with me. Did I get them all, Larry?
I didn't even know about the last one, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
always at it. It
Yeah. So for those of you who are just listening and you'd like to see Larry and you'd like to see me, you can go to my website. Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, or just Google Kat, the Queen of Dreams. It'll take you to my website. And if you look up at the very top, you'll see these long black buttons. I think it's a second from the left. It'll say podcast or radio show. If you click on that, it will take you to my website on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. They have my own page. And on that page will be Larry's picture and his poster, and all of those links that I just told you will be there hot in blue. And you can just click on those links and go right to his website. It'll also take you to his book. So Larry, what was the nexus for writing your current book? I mean, give us a brief oversight of your amazing journey through your loss and recovery, because it sounds pretty profound.
Well, one of the additional things I'd add to your intro is that it was during a recession and unemployment was 7.4% at the time that all these things were going on. So it was just even additional pressure at the time of how was I going to feed my kids and how was I going to take care of my family at the time. Actually, it turned out to be a blessing because I ended up choosing, when I was asked, what do I want to do with my kids? I ended up choosing my kids to be my number one thing that I was focused on. Up until that time, I was, aggressively focused on trying to be a successful leader in a business and creating income. But it really all changed once I shifted my focus, and my focus became my kids. And I have to tell you, I'm so thrilled with them today. My second wife passed away at the beginning of 2025. So I'm using the lessons that I learned when Shirley passed away with my response to what happens to me as a result of Dodie passing away. And the lessons are holding up. But it's not necessarily any easier, but I have at least a feeling of what's coming. So I don't panic because of the situation that I'm in.
That's happening so often now. I'm seeing it more and more. As we go through the different stages in our life, and sometimes we don't like to admit it, but we are. And we keep hearing about other people who have lost their spouses, and it's such a traumatic thing.
Right.
That it is part of life. I mean, we hear that, but if we're not going through it, we just hear it. But when we're suddenly faced with it in our own life and feeling it, it's a whole different story. So what was the biggest challenge you've dealt with in grieving? And now you've actually gone through it a second time. So what was that biggest challenge, in case somebody else listening to this show tonight is going through it right now?
I think the biggest challenge is accepting the loss. I mean, once you get to the point of accepting that the loved one that you have is no longer coming back, and there's a definite mind shift that takes place, then you're at choice about, well, how do you want to live your part of the life that's left? Because you're at choice about, are you going to live in grief all the time? Or are you going to accept that was a wonderful part of your life, you loved it, it's always going to come back to your memories, but you make a choice of what do you want to do next with your phase of life. Life is short enough anyway, really, for all of us. I'm a lucky guy to have lived to be 87. I'm doing the class reunion for my high school class, or trying to help out anyway. And 73 of my classmates have already passed away from my high school class that graduated in 1956. And as I reflected over those names, there's a lot of those people that I'd like to go back and talk with and see and find out, well, what happened in your life? How was it go? How did it go? They're not available. I can only tap my memories, but I can also tap what do I want to do next in my life and how do I want to contribute. And that's the part that I'm learning my way through because I never expected to be alone at this stage of my life. I expected to live with my life partner. We had a beautiful home in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. I hated to give it up, but now I'm into a seniors facility here in Stillwater. It's lovely, but it's different. And
It's almost like going back into the dorm in college, isn't it? I know when I visited people in there in the homes, I thought, gosh, this is kind of like being back in college. I would imagine it can be party central at moments.
my kids are just after me all the time. I said, Dad, you never stayed in a dorm room when you went to college. This is your dorm room.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, but you made an interesting point about, accepting that, and it's hard. It's hard, finally accepting that that loved one has passed on. And what it triggered in my mind when I was listening to you was how Queen Victoria did not accept it. She didn't really accept that well at all. She lived, she continued to live in the moment of still having, Prince Albert in her life. And she would put his clothing out every day, put it on the bed, go through all of that stuff. And so what advice would you give someone going through grief, maybe stuck in it in the moment like Queen Victoria? What should they do in the first step, for the first step in getting out of that? What did you do?
Um, I haven't thought it through like you're asking, but if I respond to your question, um, what I've learned when I'm coaching is that the most difficult thing in the world is to deal with people's belief systems, especially if they're stuck in their belief system of the past. And I like your intro with regarding dreams because to a certain extent, a belief system is just a accumulation of all the things that you got exposed to when you were growing up. Where did you get your belief systems? From your parents, from the church, from the school, from your friends, and so if you take a look at your source of belief systems, unfortunately, we haven't had a very good way of teaching loss to little kids. There's a lot more available today than there was when Shirley died, but it's still, people don't want to look at death when they're busy living. But the only way that you can let go of how you look at life is to shift your belief system about life. I had a belief system that I could trust the women that I loved to leave me. So it took me somewhere around 10 to 15 years before I found my second wife, because I had this negative belief system about women and my relationship with women. I thought that Shirley left me, my high school sweetheart left me, my mother had Guillain-Barré and I never thought she was coming back. So I had lots of evidence that the women that I loved would leave me, but I never had the belief system that they were actually there all the time. They never left me. It was my idea that they left me. They left me physically, but they didn't leave me emotionally. They didn't leave me in terms of feeling connected. And so it was really important for me to learn that lesson. I had help to learn that lesson. I didn't figure it out all on my own. But that's the other part that I've learned in this journey, is to be able to ask for help. I don't screw around a long time struggling with stuff that's not working. And I don't have any limitation about asking for help, especially from the psychiatrist or therapist world. They know a lot of stuff about how to help me change my mind.
And did they? So you went to a therapist. Did you find that they were able to help you?
I went to a place called Onsite, which is, in my mind, one of the top 10 therapeutic centers in the United States. And actually, I've been there several times. When I was stuck in writing this book, you asked me what happened in writing the book. Heck, I thought about writing the book for 20 years. 20 years I thought about writing the book. But I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think that I had ideas that people would listen to and learn from. And finally I said, hey, Larry, are you going to write the book or not write the book? You're at choice. And once I decided that I was at choice, the book morphed out differently than what I originally thought. I thought I was going to write a business planning book on how to do creative problem solving and how to do business development. And I couldn't let go of the thought that I was always at choice. And that just became the foundation for the book. Still took me 3.5 years to write the book, but I had help. I found people that I found a writing coach that could help me get started, and I found out that I supposedly was writing pretty good thoughts, and I especially appreciated the editor that was assigned to my book by the publisher that was working with me, and she made a tremendous difference in how well the book is being accepted, so I really appreciate her.
Excellent. Well, we've got to take a quick break. We're going right up to break. So when we come back, I am going to ask Larry about dreams. Did he see his deceased spouses in his dreams? Because I believe love never dies, and our spouses have a way, or our loved ones have a way of tapping us on the shoulder when we least expect it, to let us know that they're still there and they're still watching us. So we'll be right back. Don't go away. You are listening to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kat Kanavos, and we're talking with Larry Freeborg. We will be right back.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Berg. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, chaos to clarity, and crappy to happy, you'll love crying and laughing through mayhem to miracles. Sacred stories of transformational hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
Did you know that every word you speak matters? What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velarde's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
In a world facing annihilation, a miraculous African nun rises to become the first female pope through a web of war, murder, and betrayal. Loved by some, hated by many, she becomes the deadly target of Islamic terrorists and her own cardinals as she introduces a new vision that will either save humanity or accelerate its destruction. 4 people must race against a nuclear holocaust to learn her astonishing secret. Pope Annalisa is available at petercanova.com, Amazon, and other online booksellers and bookstores worldwide.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Kat. And we are talking with Larry Freeborg tonight about choices and about dealing with our grief when we lose a loved one, which in our generation and even earlier with all the drugs that are on the streets is happening more and more. So just before the break, I wanted to ask Larry whether or not he saw either of his wives, because he's lost 2 wives now, in his dreams, or if he's felt them around him. So Larry?
I'd say for me, it's because I've had dreams. Some are like fancy nightmares where I'm chasing things and trying to solve problems. But actually, the presence of my deceased wives is there for me all the time, especially with the attitude that they love me and they're not leaving me. So if I hold that belief system, they come in different ways. It's interesting because I've had somebody do a reading for me from the angels, and to have them see my ex-wife or deceased wife, they're still pulling for me, still supporting me, still encouraging me. So I draw upon them a lot in terms of their belief system became the wind beneath my wings. They allowed me to soar, both of them in their own ways. And that's really wonderful to have, that you've got that belief system supporting you where you wanted it to go.
So,
but
can you give us
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Can you give us an example of either a dream or a time where, something happened and you realized one of them were actually connecting with you? Did you know which wife it was?
Yes, I do. I was doing some workshops. I was attending some workshops, and this one workshop had a exercise where you chose to have your loved one come back. And I remember taking my wife, of lining my 4 children up and taking my wife through a story where I was bringing her up to date. And this is Stacy, and this is what Stacy's doing. She's my youngest daughter. And then this is my son, Michael, and here's where Michael is in his life right now. And here's Shelley, and here's Susie. And it was really a very powerful experience because she was paying attention. She really wanted to hear what was going on with the kids and are they doing okay? And that was it still is a memory for me today. I remember that experience a lot in terms of sharing with them. The other experience that I had was this psychic was giving me a reading about my life today. Wasn't completely accurate, but one part. She said I wouldn't sell my house until 2027. Well, actually, it's 2026 and my house is sold. So it wasn't perfect. But what was really touching to me is that she said that she could feel Dodie, which was my second wife, in the work that we were doing together. And she was there, you know, kind of cheering me on and keep going, Larry, and really was very exceptionally proud of what I had accomplished, even because the book never got finished until, you know, about 9 months after she passed away. So she never had a chance to really see the book or read the book. She read, that's not completely true. She read a lot of the book, multiple issues to proof it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah, so hold your book up so we can see it because I love the ship on the cover.
yeah.
That ship coming out of the storm. That looks great. Maybe it's not coming out of the storm. I wanted to ask you about that cover. What does that, did you choose the cover and what does it mean to you?
Yes, I did choose the cover, and I thought this is the first time that I've thought to actually share it on a podcast. But this is an actual.
I know it's
rubbing.
hard when you've got a virtual background, but we saw it, so we got it. Larry, you
Okay.
can put it down. Thank you.
It's a rubbing that I did when I was in the psych ward.
Oh.
And what the rubbing for me meant leaving a dark space and moving into a light space. If you look at it closely, you see that it's dark in the background and move to lightness. But I couldn't do it alone. There was a bunch of sailors helping me move this big galleon into the lightness, which is me. So I knew that I just didn't want to live on the dark side. I wanted to live on the bright side of life. And that's what it signified for me. And that's what I hope it signifies for others too, is that, you know, the death of the loss is tough. It's not easy to get through loss, major loss in your life. But if you accept the fact that somebody has died and you're still here, you're at choice about how you want to live your life. Do you want to live it in grief, or do you want to live it being whatever you can be? And I chose to be whatever I could be with help. I couldn't do it alone. I actually use others to help me a lot.
Yeah, you mentioned that you discovered this simple but powerful truth in the book. No matter what life takes away, you are always at choice.
Right.
So why did you come to the title of the book, At Choice versus A Choice? Is there a reason for that?
Yes, it was about a lesson. Most of the things that I have in my book are lessons, experiential lessons that I learned. So it's not something that I just speculate about. It's something that I've experienced. And I had some lessons that I tossed out that didn't work. So I wrote about the ones that worked. And let's see, so in this particular case, it was a very powerful lesson in the psych ward, Kat, that I had gone there really angry. I mean, I was really angry about life and what it had done to me, feeling like I had been really picked on and why did I have this when other people have different kind of lives and I've got to raise 4 kids, blah, blah, blah. I was just putting on myself. And so I was in the psych ward and I was going to bake a chicken. And I had a French knife in my hand. And I was busy chopping up the celery and the liver and the gizzards and boiling, going to make my own dressing. I wasn't going to use
Psych ward? In the psych ward, you were going to cook in there?
Yeah, that was what they offered me.
And they gave you a knife too, huh? Okay.
And
Okay.
and then when I got angry with this big knife in my hand, I said, "Man, I gotta talk to somebody. I'm fearful of this knife." Today we know about post-stress disorder, but I didn't know about that at that time. I just knew that me having a knife in this little cooking area was not a wise thing. So I said, I gotta stop. They put me in my little room without the knife, of course. And this little nurse comes bouncing in and she says, "Well, Larry, how are things going? I understand you hit a stumble today." I said, "I just spent 2 hours on this GD chicken, and that's how I'm going to live the rest of my life. I mean, I am really quirked off." She says, "Well, how are you going to take care of your kids?" And she said, I said, I have to take care of my kids. That's something that I learned from my dad because my dad took care of me when my mom was sick. I have to do it. Well, she said, I was saying that there were some options. You're at choice about how you take care of your kids. And I listened, and finally I just got upset with her. And I said, "All right, I choose to take care of my kids." "Good. Now that you're choosing to take care of your kids, we can choose how you want to feed your kids. You could cook for your kids could learn how to cook, you could go to cooking classes together." I mean, and I got it. It was kind of like a snap that went in my head. I got the mindset shift that I was always at choice. There's always choices. And in the moment, I'm at choice about which choice I want to follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, instead of having what happened to you control you, you are back in control with the choices. I
Right.
see what you're saying. That is amazing. I like that. But I don't think I will ever get that picture out of my mind of you in a psych ward with a big knife and a chicken. Oh yeah.
No,
So
and that's why it registers so deeply in me.
mhm,
I am at choice all the time. And it's a foundational belief system that I live my life from today.
mhm,
Because right following that is that I'm accountable and responsible for what I create, which is interesting. It means that I'm not responsible for the cancer,
no.
the leukemia. I'm responsible for how I deal with the leukemia. I'm not
Mhm,
responsible for uh, thunderstorms or tornadoes or tsunamis or even the war in Iran. I am responsible for how I deal with it, what actions I take. And that's been a wonderful belief system also, is to be accountable and responsible for
I
what we
agree.
create.
So, we've got a couple minutes before we have to go to break, but I wanted to ask you, what is one of your book's takeaways for the reader? What is something that's in your book for any of our audience out there tonight that is maybe suffering the way you did when you were in the psych ward? Is there something in the takeaway in the book for them?
I think there is, and I've been given some feedback that there is that it's not just about the one incident, it's about all the other lessons that I learned along the way as I was learning how to be a better dad. But they're all experiential lessons, and I walk people through how did I get to that choice, and how is that choice working for me today? And you're a choice about you whether you want to use the lessons or not. I mean, I can't control how you choose to think, but I can give you ideas about how to look at things differently that might give you some more peace and also encourage you for what the future might bring for you. I love what I'm learning from Shirzad in his book Positive Intelligence. And he says, when you have a traumatic incident come up, you look at the traumatic incident, and the first thing you have to do is accept it, accept that it happened. And
Mhm.
then you can convert it into a gift and an opportunity. And it's such a wonderful belief system. I mean, I can't believe it took me this long to get to it, but uh, he's done a good job documenting how to have a positive attitude and not have the gremlins take over our lives. That's what was holding me back all the time, is I didn't believe I was good enough. Well, toss that belief system out.
Yeah, don't feed those gremlins. Absolutely. They really grow after midnight then. We've got to take a quick break. You are listening to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, and I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Hope you call me Kat. We're talking to Larry Freeborg about his new book. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you, or he's going to tell you where you can find it and get it. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Burke. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Why are we here? How can we be happy? Questions asked from millennials to boomers. Crappy to Happy, Sacred Stories of Transformational Joy answers them using true stories of grit, grace, and love. James Redfield, author of The Celestine Prophecy, wrote in the foreword, "This book is a seminar about emerging truths and offers grounded solutions through the art of the comeback." Dr. Bernie Siegel, a contributing author, wrote, "Bodies die, but spirits and consciousness survive and recycle." So, grab some tissues, open your book, and prepare to cry and laugh till it heals. Crappy to Happy by Reverend Ariel Patricia and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers worldwide. Have you met your physician within yet? The Nautilus and multi-award-winning book, Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing, is a memoir that takes you down the rabbit hole of healing dreams and interpretations, mixed with conventional medicine and treatments. Listen to the hookah-puffing caterpillar ask, "Who are you?" Dr. Bernie Siegel says Kathleen's story is powerful, honest, and eye-opening. Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing by 3-time breast cancer survivor Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Buy the book and audio at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers. Darkest hours to brightest moments, transformation from despair to happiness, and chaos to clarity. Real people, real pain, real healing. Life-threatening illness, death, abusive relationships, divorce, and overcoming addiction are challenges these men and women faced head-on. See how they emerged stronger and happier. Buy the new book, Chaos to Clarity, Sacred Stories of Transformational Change by Reverend Patricia Caginello and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available on SacredStoriesPublishing.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to the third part of Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. And we're talking with Larry Freeborg today about his amazing book, Always at Choice, not always a choice, always at choice, meaning we are always at the precipice for a choice, and you have multiple choices, which one fits. And his book was about moving on after the death of a spouse for him, or a life trauma. For you, the audience listening now, your life trauma may be something else, but the life lessons that Larry shared with us so far that are in his book would fit into any type of grief. And I know that when my mother died, I would say it took me a good 6 years to get to a point where I would do Mother's Day, where the anniversary of her death did not take up that whole day where I couldn't function. I did not get in the car and try to drive because I really couldn't focus. It was that traumatic for me. And we've had a couple of guests on talking about how traumatic it is for mothers and daughters to be separated by death. There's something very special about that female connection. And there's something very special about a mate when they die. We don't choose, well, they say we don't choose our mothers and our daughters, but I believe we do, but we actively choose our mate. And when they leave us and they leave us with children, it can be extremely traumatic to the point where we don't know if we want to stay. So, Larry, I'd like to ask you, where can our audience find your book? If they're in that spot where they are grieving as well, I think your book would be a great help to them.
Thank you. I would direct everybody to the website alwaysadchoice.net, and in there's access to Amazon, or you could go directly to Amazon and you could purchase the book there. And there's other bookstores that can put it in their portfolio also. I'd like to say one thing is that I didn't get exposed to the idea of using dreams to recover at the time. And I realized that as we're talking that I missed something that could be really useful for other people. I have things that I could call dreams, but they aren't the kind of dreams that I think that you're talking about. But I like the idea. I like the alternative way of doing it than the way that I push through some tough stuff. I think dreaming it might have been a little easier.
Yes, well, there's so many different types of dreams, Larry. There's also daydreams, where you're doing something really mundane like folding your clothes, and then suddenly you smell her, or
Right.
you think you hear her, or you hear your name called. I have a whole chapter on that in my book. It's called The Party, and it's like you're in a room filled with people. And they're all talking and the noise level's really high. Yet somewhere in another room, somebody calls your name and it's like your ear drops off onto the floor and scoots out the door and scoots in the other door and is listening to them. And sometimes that happens in a daydream, that whisper, that little whisper. So there's so many different types of dreams. And I really do believe that if you're going through grief right now, if you keep a dream journal beside your bed and you voice your intention that you want to talk to that deceased loved one, that was something that Linda Scheller and I were talking about in the show before this one. You can go in and find it. It's Linda Scheller. It can really put your heart at ease. And I know I did that. I said one night before I was going to sleep, I was as angry as you were. I was beside myself, Larry. I was so angry she was dead because I didn't believe she needed to die. I believe the doctors missed what was wrong with her and they didn't do a second set of tests to find it till it was too late. And so I was really, really, really upset. And I said to my spirit guides, I said, I need to see my mom tonight in a dream. I don't want any excuses. I need to see my mom, bring her into the dream. And believe it or not, she showed up in the dream and she held her arms out to me and I went and I hugged her and I could smell her. I could feel her. And then she just evaporated. But it did something to my heart. My heart was no longer really heavy. because I knew she was okay. And she knew that I was grieving and she was grieving too. I really believe that when our loved ones go to the other side, that grief is there for them too. It's a big change for them, even though I believe our loved ones are there to greet them. They never go over there by themselves.
Right.
But still, it's a big, like you said, it's a big change. So is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Larry, before we conclude this?
Well, you've done one of the other things that I do. You've become a blessing in my life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well,
The,
you've
the
got
way
so
that
much wisdom.
I'm sorry.
I said you've just got so much wisdom in this. I'd love to have you come back on a panel so that you can share it with even more people.
Well, it'd be lovely the way that I manage my mood, because I think I'm accountable and responsible for the mood that I live with,
Uh-huh.
is I count blessings. Blessings are things that come to me that I don't have any control over.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gratitudes per se, although they look like gratitudes. But blessings are truly things that I appreciate that I didn't have any control over you reaching out and wanting to interview me. Somebody else took care of that, and here we are. So
That's true. I never thought of that. It was a blessing. It
yeah,
was.
it is a blessing, and now I've got a lesson too. So it's been great to have this conversation. I just hope other people reach out. I think reading the book will be useful for them
I
and
agree. Mm-hmm.
help them. So thank you.
You are so welcome. Don't go anywhere yet, though. So, in conclusion, from listening to Larry and reading some excerpts from his book that were sent to me, how we look at a problem can be the problem or the solution.
Yes.
Larry wrote, recognize your choice points, unquote. Sometimes just the smallest shift in the way we think can be the beginning of a new day dawning, just like the cover of his book, Beyond the Storm, heading into the sunshine of a brilliant tomorrow. There is always a tomorrow and
Yes.
always a choice.
It's free. It's a freeing up
It is.
statement that you're always a choice. It means that you're in control of the decisions that you make. And it's not, I have to, I want to, I need to, all those other things that we go through. No, I choose to. That gives the power to me of what I want to create in my life. So, yeah.
Yeah. So if there's something, if you're having a really, really bad day and it happens, you're human, it's okay. You can choose to be unhappy. You
Right.
can choose to be in a bad mood. Or you can choose, what I used to say is, I'm not going to let it matter. If I don't mind it, put it in my mind and chew on it, it
Right.
won't matter. It won't become solid on the earth plane. Because when you're grieving, your heart feels really solid and heavy.
Mm.
Yeah. So if you missed last week's show with Dr. Linda Yael Scheller on ancestral dreaming, watch or listen to the archives. Again, go to my website, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, or Kat the Queen of Dreams, and click on the left black button. Takes us to my page on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. You'll see Dreaming Healing. And you can watch this show again with Larry. If you found that there were some things that you would like to go over again, Larry Freeborg's show will be there and you can watch it again and again and again. You can share it with maybe some of your friends who are going through grief. Nobody should grieve by themselves. Grieving is a part of our process of being human beings, but that's why we have other humans. We have people like Larry out there to help us through it. So the next show that will be coming up will be about your inner billionaire with Debbie Dobbins. So you don't want to miss that one. Yes, you have an inner billionaire, and she's going to tell us how we can tap into that. Somebody sent me a dream, Larry, and if you want to kick into this dream, please feel free. And they said, hey, I've been having this dream over and over again. I have falling dreams. And someone told me that if I fall in a dream and I hit the ground, I will die in my waking world. Is this true? What does it mean if I'm falling? Well, my answer to that is it's part of hypnagogic dreaming. And I talk about that in the book, Dreams That Can Save Your Life. A lot of people will have hypnagogic dreams when they first start to have a really important dream. You feel like you're spinning and you're falling and you're falling and you are falling into the dream state, or you are falling into a dream. And it's an important one. So you really need to remember what you dreamed. You're starting a sequence. So because remember, we dream up to 5 dreams a night. It can also mean you're falling asleep. Some people, when they're grieving, and I'm sure Larry, you know, back me up on this or jump in, it's hard to sleep. Yes. Every time you start to fall asleep, it all comes rushing back and you just can't get to sleep. So if you're listening to this show tonight and you find that you're falling asleep, hallelujah, you know, it's one of those gifts that Larry was talking about. It's just you telling you, and your spirit guides telling you, you're finally falling asleep. You're falling into a dream state. And this, again, can be an important dream. So pay attention to it. Write it in your dream journal. And if you don't have one, go to my website again, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, or Kat, the Queen of Dreams, and download it for free. If you're going through grief and you're having dreams or you're not able to sleep, go and download it. Keep it by your bed and use it. So Larry, we have like 1 minute. So really quick, did you find it was difficult to sleep when you were going through your grief?
Well, I happen to have a wound in my leg, which causes me a lot of pain during the night. So I'm not sleeping very well, or haven't been. But I find that I escape in sleep. And so sleep is restful for me. It's healing. Mm-hmm. So I like your story about doing a dream journal. I haven't done that, so I'm going to consider that. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Go and download mine right off of my website. It's free. It's for you. It's my gift to my audience and to my guests. We've hit the end of our time together. It was lovely having you, Larry, and all of you out there watching and listening. Remember, everybody dreams, but some dreams save lives. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us this evening, and a big thanks to our producer. Tune in next time to Dreaming Healing for more cutting-edge research, live dream interpretations, and stories with radio host and award-winning author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Listen every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time with call-in live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Remember, everyone dreams, but some dreams save lives. Live your dreams. Find more about Kat at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com. That's Kathleen with a K. OKEEFEKANAVOS. Or The Queen of Dreams on Google search.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.